See the hat? Bar humbug. Christmas. Commercial bullshit time. Well, instead of celebrating Christmas, I think I'll celebrate Christmases gone by, or more to the point, the games consoles people wanted for those Christmases that have long since gone by. So, before I do anything else, I think I should go and look in my loft and see what's up there. I'm sure I've got some crappy games consoles up there that probably weren't crappy in the day. Personally, I think I'd be doing something wrong if I didn't start with the Atari VCS. With its beautiful wood grain panel across the front, its 6 metal switches, and its 2 controller ports. This is one of the original kinds of Atari, but many people don't remember the Magnavox Odyssey that was out before it, thinking Atari created Pong and had the first console. As a matter of fact, they didn't. Like I say, it was the Magnavox Odyssey. But I don't own one of those, so I'm going to set my Atari up and see just if it still works, to be honest, because I entered it out of there for a long time now. Okay, we are all wired in with that classic controller and ready to go. I think I'm going to start with one of the classic arcade hits that never really made it that well on the Atari due to the fact it lacked in everything that the arcade machine had, when it didn't necessarily have to. If you don't know what it is, you're about to find out. Wow, look at those graphics! They're mind-blowing! Yeah. I mean, just the fact that you have a little switch on the Atari to decide whether it should be black and white or colour kind of demonstrates its age. And obviously this isn't from when the Atari first came out, seeing as that was around 1977, but still, it's one of those games everybody remembers. Pac-Man! Okay, let's see how bad I suck at this now. Wow, look at that. Controls on this thing suck. I mean, I know the Atari controllers are old and stiff, but I had to jam them quite hard compared to what I did in the arcade, but still, it's a classic, and obviously a stepping stone in gaming history. Okay, well I'm sure I could just eat these video wafers all day as the manual describes them. Yeah, I've got the box and the manual, so... Well, I've had enough of that Atari Pac-Man for one day, so... Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. What the hell is with the cartridge? It's shaped more like one of those cartridges you got for, like, I don't know, Coleco or something, or a Mattel Intellivision. Well, in fact it doesn't even say Atari anywhere on it. I'm sure it's for my Atari. I'm going to plug it in and see what happens. It doesn't look entirely right to me, so... normally on the Atari you have to whack the reset button to make the game start, because you don't have a button to do it on the control pad. And there we go. I was never very good at this one, so I forewarn you before I get owned. I'm sure the graphics used to look better than this. I don't know, I mean this Atari's cracking on for its 31st birthday, well 32nd birthday now, so I don't know. Nice enough game, I like it. Simplistic. You just push the stick where you want to go, you press the button to shoot, as with most Atari games. I think the simplicity of the Atari's controls is probably what really made it as popular as it was. Wow, yeah, like that would really happen in real life. Wouldn't that just blow up? Classic game. Although I call this console the Atari VCS, which is its real name, short for Video Computer System, the number on the bottom says CX2600. That's its model number, and I think that's where Atari 2600 comes from. Well, I know that's where it came from. To play my final and favourite Atari game that I can be bothered to do at the minute, I'm going to pull out my favourite Atari console after the Woody Atari, the original Atari. which is the newer style Atari 2600. This one came with another Pac-Man cartridge, as if I didn't have enough already. Well, I only had one, but that was more than enough. This isn't just any Atari 2600. These kinds came out in the 80s, as you'll probably know, but it's an all-black model. Picked that up for about £8. I've never seen many of these, at least not in PAL anyway, which is the format we use over here. It also comes with a completely different kind of controller, which I already leave out the box because I don't like handling the box that much. Unfortunately I've misplaced it, so I guess I won't be playing with that controller today. That's okay, it's compatible with the original. I might just use that instead. Whilst I'm on the subject of controllers, I've heard that you can actually plug a Sega Mega Drive controller into the Atari. I've never actually tried this before, and I'm not sure it'll work, because when I had a third party controller I pressed a button I wasn't supposed to, the Atari used to freeze up and make funny noises. Also, this is a turbo pad, so if this does work it should be interesting. And the sockets are the same, and for each one of those pins in the sockets, theoretically the wires must lead to the same function, from what I've heard, so we'll see if this works. And now it's time to play my favourite game for the Atari 2600, Midnight Magic, which is some kind of pinball game. I don't know why, I just like it, and it plays the can-can when you advance to the next level, which is kind of weird, but oh no, it's a good game. It's just fun. You can sit and play it all day. Okay, maybe this isn't going to plan. My Atari doesn't appear to be working. I could blame it on the Sega Mega Drive controller, I suppose. But for some unknown reason, it isn't about to work. Let's try it without the controller. Still no good. Well, for whatever reason, that one isn't working, so it's back to the old Atari. I hope it's not broken. Well, because I'm a risky sort, I'm going to plug this Mega Drive controller into this other Atari and see if it busts this one. Yes, collectors, I might be about to wreck a classic console. But before you start flaming me about this, how about you have a go at those bastards who chop them up and make portables out of them? At least when I did this I had the decency to do it with an Atari flashback console, because they aren't really worth anything. I'm sure you're enjoying looking at that blue screen anyway. Here goes. Yes, works, right. So. Wow, the Genesis controller does work on this. Hey, look at me, I've got a turbo button. Which is pretty useless because I have to press down to make those flippers come up, but so what? Basically the object of this is, like most Atari games, to get a high score, but seeing as it doesn't record any data, it's pretty useless outside of the arcade unless you dedicated your Atari to playing this and just left it on 24/7. So I always just see the objective as get the whole board to light up, and they might be a little bit hard to make out, but there's these kind of coloured blocks just right at the top there. If you can take all of those out, you advance to a new level, which looks exactly the same as the level you've just been on, but it's a different colour. Once more though, a good fun game that I'm not very good at anymore. Still, I enjoy it. When I was like 5, I used to be able to take all of those out in one go. Okay, I'm getting addicted to it again now. Maybe I should like turn it off. God! Stupid. And how is that a ball? It's square.